Recently, President Carter asked to hear the voice of America speak. Do you have anything you'd like to say to President Carter?
Yes, I'm a manager.
What can the common man give?
What can he give? Yeah.
Dreams, aspirations, hopes. He doesn't really have solutions. He is to a degree denied the opportunity for those solutions. So the thing that Carter or Roosevelt or Scoop Jackson or whoever it might be, in or out, will ever get from the common man is what he hopes for.
Do you feel there's a threat to your survival?
Yes, I do.
I believe there are a lot of threats to the survival of our nation.
I feel the threat to survival lies in the fact that if the American people finally get to a point where they feel as a whole that they cannot believe what's being told, that they're going to be apt to follow anyone who could provide some form of leadership that they can believe.
President Carter said he wanted the people to join with him to defy the oil company.
Right, that's right.
So it sounds maybe that his hands are tied by the oil companies.
Well,
How does that make you feel?
Well, if that's true, then I think we're in a hell of a lot of trouble then. If the president can't do anything about it, who can?
And unless alternative energy sources are refined and brought to the fore in a very short period of time, there's only so much gasoline in that big tank down in the belly of the earth. I'm going to get stuck at home without a job.
We need a lot more push as far as alternative energy sources. The average American is just being choked with gas prices, and I know there are good reasons for that. But we must explore alternatives, not only for our cars, but also for our homes.
I'm going to put it straight, that's the way I feel. I'm not going to tell you no stories. But I feel that the oil companies and the automobile companies are all one. The automobiles today they make won't get 20 miles to the gallon. And I can remember my dad having a Model A Ford in 1931. It was running good and tuned up. It would get 22, 23 miles to the gallon, way back then.
They're not telling the truth.
And the average person can see it.
I think so. Really.
Okay, what are we going to do about that? We can't just tell them to be honest, because we've told them a million times.
We're going to have to vote out a bunch of incumbents and all lawyers, that's for sure.
It's things like this that are reported that I know firsthand as compared with those things I hear in the media that lead me to believe that there's a big credibility gap. I find it very hard to believe our government spokesmen when they talk about fuel and gas and energy shortages.
We're losing ground every day as far as freedom goes.
Do you think the lack of honesty is one of the reasons?
That's the biggest reason, I think. Because somebody is lying. Somebody is lying on a lot of subjects.
If we can arrange it in some way so that the man that works all day will have a good shelter and have enough food to feed his family, have decent clothes to wear, and feels like he's accomplishing something, has got a goal to attain as he gets older and something left for his children, the country will pull back together.
Consequently, the, quote, common man, if that's the term that you choose to use, doesn't feel that crisis. He is today the hedonist. He's the hasty hedonist.
Right.
It's T-shirts, TV, and beer. And he wants somebody to take care of the rest of it.
That's right.
The leaders are supposed to take care of that until there is the crisis, and whether it's pestilence or whether it's war, or whether it's outside forces, or whether it's inflation or if it's searing depression. Then will the people coalesce, pay attention to a leader, because they always look for that leader.
I realize it's a typical reaction of politicians and people in charge today that they underestimate the intelligence of basic man and woman on the earth, because each of us have within us the ability to think and to create. And we have created everything on this earth. We will continue to create everything on this earth. What we have to do is begin to organize people to return them back to the dignity of man. And when you start from dignity of man, then you get a creative response out of the individual. And I feel that the politicians are throwing their hands up because they are afraid to look at the people for what they really are. They represent power, they represent energy, the people of a world represent integrity.
Everybody's talking about the oil companies, the money, the prices that we're paying for gasoline. Today, that's not scaring me as much as people talk about communism coming in.
Yeah.
That doesn't scare me. It's this group of people that sit over the globe, and I'm going to name specific people if I may. The Rockefellers, the Littons, the the Rothschilds, all these people in the United States and other countries are controlling this world today. Okay? I mean, they control it because they're big business, big money.
And looking back to the scriptures, it leaves me with one question in mind. What side is our government really on? We have two forces. We have the force of light, we have the force of darkness. And the main force that I see coming through right now is the force of darkness. And my biggest question is, what side are you really on?
What are we going to do? If this is true, a lot of people say it is, that we're being controlled by a small group of very rich people. The whole world is.
The Bilderbergers, the mega bankers, that's the people that control this world.
What can the common man do?
I'm trying to find that answer, okay? I think if enough of us people get together, make our president or our Senate or our Congress or somebody get together, let's find the answers together. I mean, we formed this United States years ago together. And I think we can iron it out together if we, I think, put stricter controls on big business.
Would you like to ask Carter to answer that question directly?
Absolutely. Explain to me how big business controls the whole world,
Running
the
out
whole
of
thing.
gas now, and if we don't conserve it, then we'll have no more left for us when we grow up.
A world that's not so hard.
What do you mean hard?
Well, like gas prices.
Does it upset you?
Sorta.
Do you feel a threat growing up today to you?
Yes, I find it, sometimes I find it hard to even wake up in the morning because I'm afraid you never know when another nuclear reactor is going to go off and it's going to be like a bomb or something, or you never know what the gas prices are going to be.
Do you have dreams about this kind of stuff?
Quite a bit. I feel that.
Tell me one.
I feel that the Earth. Sometimes I feel that the Earth might even be coming to an end.
Jimmy Carter needs help. He needs intellectual help. He needs moral help. He needs administrative help. And he really is trying to get outside of a strangling bureaucracy because he isn't getting it. He isn't getting the help inside of that bureaucracy. He hasn't been able to handle the problems that are apparent and evident, and he should have known about as far as America is concerned. He doesn't have the backing of a Congress. He doesn't have the backing of the set-in-place bureaucrats. Consequently, he says, what do I do to salvage the last of this term and perhaps get another term? The thing to do it then is to go to the common man and ask his question. I'm not sure that the common man has the answer. He was elected because he was supposed to have answers. And that's the way our government works.
Mean that we will be able to live on different planets and that we will know almost everything and we won't have to do anything to hurt other people and everything will be just fine and there will not be any threats in the world.